Alright, guys. Hello. So, Lost Ark. I'm going to talk about the pros, the cons, what I didn't like, what didn't really work, and what they could have done better. So, first off, I'm going to start with the pros. So, the pros, the visuals, the art style is really cool. The art department did a really good job with that. It's very fantasy, it's very colorful, bright, and it is immersive because of how they have it's kind of like that Diablo kind of viewpoint. But the only problem I have with that is like the camera angle. So there's only two different styles of camera angles. One that's like above your character, and then there's the one that like zooms in. But the problem with it zooming in is it cuts off like parts of the map. But the reason I believe they did that is because they wanted the emotes and they wanted you to be able to look at your armor pieces and all your gear that you get like up close. But here's the problem with that. When this is going to fall like into the cons. There's no original like look. You start powerful and then you are powerful. I got through like level 1 to the max level, which was like is 50, and then after that you start getting into the end game content, which they're your raids, your dungeons, and you get all the cool stuff that's like PvP. You do open like PvP a little earlier on, but that is really fucked because it's not balanced at all for PvP. So that's another con there, is that the PvP is really shitty. I'm assuming maybe because I'm still going through the end game stuff. So, but I haven't seen any like really good like gear. They're always just reskins. Like you'll have one that's like, oh, it's just blue. Oh, there's one that's like yellow. But there's not enough changes to make it feel like you earned this rewarding gear, and that's a problem. Let's see, pros. There's a lot of content in here to get through. The combat is really good if you like the action kinds of kind of MMOs. I don't know if I would really actually call this an MMO though, because it's not to that level, because it's just not there. Like World of Warcraft, there's the dungeons and stuff like that, and you're always kind of doing something, and all the quests are like rewarding. At least classic World of Warcraft, anyways. From what I've been told. I never got to play that, but anyways, the mounts, you can get mounts, but they have special kinds of mounts. Some are most of them are in the store. I don't know why why it's not spread out in like a lot more of the quests, because mainly all you get throughout the quest is like your money. So you have no problem running out of money. Or health potions, and that's another problem with it as well. The story is okay. Like I thought the story was going good in the beginning, and then they kind of dropped the story, so it just got like lost in translation. They just kind of started doing stuff that wasn't really like interesting in the story. But where I'm at now, they just picked up a little bit in the main story. But the filler that is in between that is bullshit, because you're literally doing none of the quests really matter. They're all just a bunch of fetch quests. Kill this, collect this, kill this, collect this. And the dialogue, you could literally just read like the top of it, like, oh, go collect this. And you just can't. There needed to be another kind of quests in between those, because it is boring as hell, let me tell you. But once you get to that point The end game is where it really starts to like, you know, open stuff up for you, which like the dungeons, you'll play like these wave rounds. There's one that's like a tower where you just go in and you mainly clear the monsters out. Some of them, like the first one, they'll have you destroy this like crystal thing, and then all the ones after that, because it'll be like floor 1, 2, and 3, and then the fourth one, if you're not high enough level, it won't let you do the floor 4 until you reach that level. Now, how they do the gear, which I do like the gear, how they do the gear, the leveling. This game isn't a game you want to play if you're into like unique stuff. It holds it back because of that, and I wish that there would have been more. But it's all about leveling your gear here, and you will level up your gear, but really, does it really feel like you really like have better gear, or is it just, oh, the numbers are higher so it's better? But when you get into like the higher level stuff for like the boss stuff and like raids, you got to hit these fuckers because it'll take a while to kill them. They don't let you use certain kind of potion. They do let you use the one potion though, that'll help you, you know, get your health back, but it's kind of dumb. But like that part's good, like that there. Now another thing that they added is you're able to like build your own kind of place. So like you got like a manor, and you got like ships, because you can get your own ship in this game, and then you can travel everywhere. Once you get off the main island, your first island, and you take to the open seas, and then you can drive your ship around. You can kind of explore wherever you want, so there's a lot of freedom in there for that. You're able to customize your ship, like you can change your flag, and the more you travel on your journey, you'll damage your ship. Not if you're just sitting there though, that's fine, but the instant you start going to places, your ship will slowly take damage. It's like 5,000, it's like, which is enough. It doesn't like go super fast, but you do want to keep an eye on it. I never really ran into an issue for that, but you can find wooden like barrels, and that'll be like wood for your ship, so you can always repair it. Now this game suffers the same problem that Final Fantasy XIV has, in my opinion, because the main point of like an MMO is to be open, expansive, being able to do what you want to do. I love Final Fantasy XIV, but it just feels so fractured. You go into this area, oh, there's a loading screen. No, all right, you gotta go to this area, there's another loading screen. So Lost Ark does that, and it doesn't really work. It was better in Final Fantasy XIV because, you know, you had like the actual MMO mechanics there. So that's what helped it. Here it's absent, it's not there. So you're like getting on your horse and you're going to a screen or whatever, and then it loads. Doesn't happen like it will happen a lot, but it's mainly you start to notice it like after a while. It seems like there's like a lot more. So a lot like this game kind of has, I guess you would call it like a mobile UI, but it's not pay to win. It doesn't have that there. It's just the UI interface. I mean, it works. It does what it's supposed to do, but there's no mounts in this game that you can get to pay to play. I don't know why people keep throwing it around, because that's not this. Yes, there are pay to win games out there that do that, where like you get a piece of armor and it affects your gameplay. Here, it just seems like the shop should just not be in the game, because all it seems to be are like, crystals and like stuff that you get during the game, and you get plenty of it during the game. So I don't understand why they have the shop there. But I checked, there's nothing in there that's like, pay to win. It just doesn't come off like that. They kind of have this power pass thing. I guess it's their version of a battle pass, but it's different. I think it's not really a battle pass. It's more of like, if you want to create a second character and you power pass, you can do that, and you can skip stuff so you don't have to do the whole entire thing again with one character. So that is nice to have there, and it won't let you use it until you create your second character and you're at that level in your game. Some of the stuff in the shop, they got uniforms in there that you can buy. They don't do anything. There's a really cool one though that was in the store. But it really, you could remove the entirety of the store and it wouldn't even matter. It wouldn't even like do anything, which, that's a good thing. I don't know if like they were trying to put that on there because they had ideas of making it pay to win. This game did come from like a failed concept, and this is the reiteration of it. So it seems like they may have they learned a few things. So the interesting characters, there is the one character, he's like a half demon, half human kind of guy, and you roll with him for a little bit until you part ways. And I do think that they definitely should have put really cool gear within like level 1 to 50 so it could keep you like interesting. It's not there. I don't really understand the hype for it, as popular as it is. Even if you really did like the game, it's not what like everyone seems to be making it out to be. Yes, it's a large game. Yes, there's content in there, but at some point it's gonna start being really repetitive and the same kind of thing. Now, for your abilities, your hotkeys, you can customize stuff how you want it. They got really cool abilities there, and you just unlock them as you go. You got like these gems. You can make these gems that you can use for your engravements, and the engravements will unlock stuff for you. You have like these points. So when you find these engraving things, you can add them. It'll add to your points. They can hold like I think 26 once you get, or 24. Once you get all of those points, then you can use that. You can use that mod thing to help increase your character's abilities and stuff. So, what else? They do events. There's a Grand Prix. You can do races in there. I haven't had any. I think I only had like one crash, and then I haven't had a crash since then. The game's been running pretty smoothly for the most part. Not saying it's perfect. There's been a couple times where your frame for a second will drop. I think a lot of it is because I noticed it right when you get more towards where like everyone is. It feels like it's more so a server problem, and that's why you lag a little bit when you go into the bigger cities. Because that's where I've noticed it happening a lot, is in those areas. So what really didn't work, that was probably my biggest gripe, is they took Final Fantasy characters and they were just like, okay, here's Lost Ark. Like, they look the same. There's nothing really unique about your characters. You can customize them. There's a bit of customization there, so that's pretty cool. But it's all based on your level, so it doesn't matter what kind of gear you get. It's all about leveling that gear up to its maximum potential. and it won't let you do stuff if you're not the current level. So they got like all these, your typical blacksmith and stuff like that. You can repair your gear, but really, you get so much money in this game that it's just easy. Like you don't have to worry about running out of money. You don't have to worry about running out of potions. You constantly have potions at your disposal. So in a way, that kind of gimps it because it's pretty handholdy when it does stuff like that. And as much as I would like this game to have been better and could have stood out as its own, it fails to do that. I don't know if it's just because the studio. There's good stuff in this game. There's a lot of like bullshit that's stupid, or why did they do it this way? Like, you should have made it to where you could really be your own like person. It just feels like you're playing this random NPC and you're running around trying to save the world with Final Fantasy Photoshop. But so what else? I really like how they did the level designs, because you'll be like having a bridge and you'll walk across the bridge, and then behind that bridge you see that big opening of like just of the area, and it's really gorgeous to look at. There aren't really a lot of different environment, which isn't a good thing either. That's just dumb. But like, they do switch you around a little bit. You do go into the towns. I don't know why they didn't take more time on what your gear looks like. If anything, this would be more of like a regular RPG. Like, it feels like the MMO stuff is just tacked on. Like I wouldn't even really call it an MMO because of that. So I'm probably gonna have to give this game, it's a 5 for me. It could have been a lot better than what it is. I still don't understand the hype about it. Like, you could look at a bunch of free games and it'll be Lost Ark. So like, why would it be this overhyped? Like, if a lot of people aren't, like, personally me, I'm not really into those like mobile stuff because it's garbage. But this is more so disappointing. Like, I really thought this was going to be a lot more to it than just kind of copy paste and stuff. But I mean, other than that, like, you got the visuals, you got the detail, the game runs smooth for the most part. Until you get into like the areas, it is a smooth game. Combat is really good. It's really well done. It doesn't. You shouldn't have to be able to solo it though. And even if you try to do multiplayer, it's too easy. Everyone just gets like one shot. So it's better, and then everyone just runs off and kind of does their own thing, and then you miss stuff. But like, the stuff that once you reach like level 50 and you start getting these harmony gems, which you collect those, and that's what you hone your gear with, which you make it better. So you like take this, and then it'll level it up for you, and then it'll let you hone it. And you have to have enough of the gems and stuff like that for that to work. If you don't, you're able to like level it up, but you can't hone your gear and make it better. But other than that, really, the bigger bosses, they don't go down right away. You do need a bunch of people there to like help with that, because they are good bosses and stuff like that. There's a couple variety of them. Now, I did see this thing about a March update where they want to make it made it seem like they wanted to stick NPCs or NFTs in this, which is not okay. If they do that, it'll be a 4. But for now, like right now, I'm gonna give it a 5. I wouldn't rush out to buy it. I would maybe wait for a sale. But yeah, that's Lost Ark, 5 out of 10. I will see you in the next video, and have a good time. Alright, bye guys.